3 o'clock on Tuesday, March 19th, 2024. I'm going to call this meeting to order of the Board of Public Works in the City Council Chambers in Peru, Indiana. First order of business is the reading and approving of the minutes for March 5th.
I'll make a motion that we suspend the rules of reading of the minutes and accept them as they were furnished in print to us.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next item on the agenda is payment of the claims from March 22nd, the amount of $406,388.24. Any discussion? If not, need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next item on the agenda is payment of claims from March 8th in the amount of $140,674.34. Any discussion? If not, need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next item is regular payroll from March 8th in the amount of $198,346.96. Any discussion? If not, need motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next item on the agenda is HSA payment from March 8th, the amount of $346.99. Any discussion? If not, need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Under old business, we have two items that were tabled from March 5th. I need a motion to bring these two items back to the agenda for consideration.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. First is a request by Marlene Mickelson and Patrick Redmond, representing Miami County Artisan Gallery, to block off areas around the courthouse for the third annual Peru Visual Arts Festival on May 11th from 10 a.m. until midnight.
Hello.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
We finalized the mapping and the request for the closure of the street from Main Street to Fifth Street on Broadway. The third annual Visual Arts Festival, which is 10 to midnight. The activities will be set up in the street, parking spaces, and on the west side of the courthouse. I add this to our request and ask you again to consider picking up the barriers on Monday when the courthouse opens so that we can get a discount from the stage company.
So once again, this tent that you're going to use on 5th Street, is that correct?
Yeah, we're going to just utilize all of Broadway from Main to 5th.
Okay.
All the activities will take place in that area.
Okay, so this tent will remain up until Monday morning?
We can take that down.
Okay.
It's, let's see, I don't know if it's a stage or two. We'll take them down.
Okay.
They just won't be removed.
Okay, so we'll have access to Broadway
Yes.
after the event's over?
Yeah.
Todd, do you have any issues, questions with any of this?
Yeah, I'm thinking putting them in the park spaces. If the company that you're renting from is going to come back and pick them up Monday, yeah, they'll probably be in there before the courthouse even comes to work. So
Okay.
I think we're good.
Chief Dane, any issues?
As long as they leave us the travel pass so we can get through in case of an emergency.
Yeah.
Okay. Chief Feller? No issues?
And I'll come down and see you guys beforehand and
All right.
go through it again.
Any discussion from the board?
A little unclear from the map, so we're voting on closing both Broadway and Fifth because it just shows Broadway.
We're not closing Fifth Street at all.
Okay, where's the tent?
The tents are going to be on, from Fifth Street on down to Main Street in the parking spaces that are open if it's blocked off, and in front of the businesses. You know, we have artists that have booths, we have vendors.
How will the tents be secured? How will the tents be secured?
Oh, weights, whatever's necessary.
There won't be any stakes driven through the pavement?
What?
No stakes driven through the pavement?
I didn't hear you.
Will they be driving stakes, metal stakes, to stretch the
Metal
tent?
No,
rods.
it's weights.
Okay.
Any more
This will
discussion?
be our third event, and we're used to making sure that things are done properly.
Any concerns from the street department about if there would be stakes in the roadway, whether that would cause?
We don't want stakes in the road.
Just no stakes in the roadway.
Okay.
As long as they're not using stakes, I'm okay with it.
What size tents are these, ma'am?
We've got 10 by 10 and 10 by 20.
Okay. I would make the motion that we approve the request contingent upon no stakes or disruption of the pavement in that area.
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right.
Aye. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Next item on the agenda is awarding of the bids for street department materials. Having reviewed these over the past 2 weeks and understanding everything about the materials that's being supplied by E&B and Gaunt and Sons Asphalt, recognizing that this has nothing to do with our CCMG program, and that the coal patch that we use for patching potholes comes from another source. We believe that the bid should go to Gaunt and Sons. Any discussion?
Make the motion that we award the bid to Gaunt and Sons for materials.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Aye. Under new business, we have a request from Cole Porter Festival for street closures and reserved parking requests for the 32nd Annual Cole Porter Festival, June 6, 2024 through June 9, 2024.
Hello.
Hi.
You coming up, Connie? My co-producer. Can I approach you with these, a little more detail?
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you.
Second and third page show more of our layout.
So Chris invited me up here because the Cole Porter Festival falls under the organization of Rediscover Downtown Peru. So we're co-producers, but Rediscover is the organizing organization, technically.
Is there anything different here than
Thank you.
Previous years?
last year?
Yes.
Yes.
It looks different.
Yeah, so I'll let Chris
So
speak
we
to
used
that.
to do it on West Fifth, and because of the sale of the Artisan Gallery building, that grass lot that we were using is kind of up in the air, its availability. So we'd like to move it to Broadway between Fifth and Sixth, and that's going to let us expand a little bit, which we're ready for because our crowds are getting bigger. So yeah, if you see on the second page, you can kind of see a perspective of the layout, and then the third page is a direct overhead So especially for the fire department, you can see we always have 20-foot clearance at least, but it does kind of snake through, and we just want to make sure that's okay.
Chief, do you have a copy of this?
Yes, I'm looking at
Okay,
it.
all right.
So, but I'll give you time to look at it. No pressure.
I don't see any problem with the serpentine deal. It's kind of like the circus festival. We have jogs in that too, so.
Yeah, because I know you need 16 feet minimum width, and then how long are your trucks usually?
45 foot's the longest.
Okay, cool.
So as this is being set up, Chief, will you be there kind of overseeing, make sure that you have plenty of room
Yes, sir.
to get down through here?
Yes, sir. We will.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Chief
will.
Feller,
Got no issues.
good?
That's good.
I also, since it came up in the Marley's thing for the Arts Festival, it's worth noting, I believe they're getting your tents from APT, right? The tents are coming from APT?
I think so.
Yeah, so they're the same tent rental company that we use out of Kokomo. And so they come and they bring, you can either stake something, or for these particular tents, they will bring weights that you pay extra for. So we've never had to dig into city pavement, and they shouldn't have to either. It's
Yeah.
the same company. They come and do a really good job, and they sign off everything that Homeland Security needs in terms of temporary membrane structures and that they're placed properly 20 feet away from whatever, et cetera. All those different
they're-
stipulations that I don't even
They're
know.
big cylindrical weights with the real heavy straps, and they put a lot of them on with the big tents.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
Yes,
They're ugly, but they work.
they do.
And the only other thing I did not include on here for the street department would be those additional sandbags like we've done. If we can do it like 30, would be great. We'd love the black ones, but we know we might only get orange.
Art direction, if we can have the black ones.
Yes.
But also the parking spots on East Fifth Street, we, depending on how Farmers Market works out, we know they already have that street closed off on Saturday mornings, starting in June. So that those, there would be either negotiated with Sandy, or we just wouldn't have those the morning of the Saturday there on East Fifth, those parking spots that we're asking for. We would just forego those for the morning, but we would like them for the rest of the time of the festival from that Friday through Sunday.
Yeah, and those parking reserved extra spaces you see on the first page at the top with the cones are for our own staff and loading, and then extra handicap spots in addition to the standard existing city handicap spots. If we have guests that need special access, we can accommodate them as we strive to be more ADA compliant in our event.
Because our grants really like that.
Yeah.
Rain or shine event?
Well, it depends. Drizzling, okay, that crazy sideways monsoon, some things might have to get postponed. We have a covered professional mobile stage, but it's not completely rainproof in crazy, crazy weather.
And our event, also, there's programming that you can't see here, but it takes place inside the Miami County Museum all day, Friday and Saturday. So for sure, that's rain or shine programming. And so then it's just the outdoor music stage and festival layout that is subject to weather. But that's another reason we have all those tents. And if it's not a monsoon, then everybody takes cover under the tents or brings an umbrella and still has a good time.
And I assume that in front of the stage, you'll have seating for spectators.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
So that layout kind of.
Does that present a problem for you, Chief Dane?
No, we should be good, as long as it's temporary. You're just talking about folding chairs, right?
Folding chairs, folding tables, we shove them out of the way if necessary, or
Okay.
you run over them and figure it out from there.
And we have a lot of volunteers, so we always got plenty of people to help in any situation.
Yeah, so most of that seating is going to be up between the stage and that tent in front of Ruoff Mortgage that you see there. That's kind of going to be there'll be, kind of open dance area in front of the stage itself, and then tables and chairs kind of filling up that space there. And then as you get farther north on Broadway, that's going to be more the food court, where you see kind of a food tent and a food truck, and then some classic cars for set dressing. because why not? But that's essentially, yes, tables and chairs and lots of places for people to sit there in front of Blended on Broadway and Dreams to Reality Aroma, right in that area there.
So the businesses that will be unavailable that day, have they been contacted? Are they
Yes.
on board?
Yes. So Dreams to Reality, given that it's graduation cake season, had a concern about having to take their, cakes farther than they would normally have to, given parking. So we have special parking that we have figured out for them in the alleyway there, just behind, out of their back door, essentially. Blended on Broadway is excited. They think it'll bring them more food traffic. Legends feels the same way. Sherwin-Williams will have an art kind of installation there. Patrick Redmond is working up something, so Sherwin-Williams will be kind of promoting their paint almost, as it were. There's an empty building. That Dobbs always closes the Friday of the festival. Being a Cole Porter relative, she celebrates with us. And then the museum annex is closed. The Marburger building is empty, vacant at this point. Yesterday's Elegance is closed at this point. Doris Drapery is appointment only, so is Stacy Photography. So Anita's is the next thing to worry about. And she's got plenty of parking there on 6th, and she's excited to be part of Broadway Back in Time as a theme.
Yeah.
So we've talked to everybody essentially, and they're excited about it.
And we love circus days, but one thing we're trying to do different than circus days is putting a lot of care into planning this layout with the tents so that we're not just blocking the view of all these businesses, especially the ones that are open. We want to incorporate them into our village thing. So our guests, they're all there on foot, can go get a coffee or a donut or something from Legends or a smoothie, and it's kind of part of the experience.
And then we don't bring in an outside coffee vendor food trailer or a shake truck kind of food trailer. We're using the businesses that are on the block. Now, as they all close later at night, we might bring something in kind of late night, kind of after hours for them, but certainly it wouldn't be competitive. And right now we're thinking we won't even probably do that at this time. We're just kind of reserve some space for it just in case, but lots of kids' activities on that north end of the block there.
Oh, and we also hire FOP security officers from Thursday night through Sunday. And so they actually park a police car in this area and stay overnight to keep an eye on things, which is nice.
After everything's removed, will there be any need for street cleaning?
No,
Ryan?
we do a good job of picking it up.
Okay.
Yeah, unless there's some crazy thing we can't foresee. But yeah, we spend a lot of time picking up every little thing.
And there's tons of trash cans that we will put out that are not marked here, and volunteers keeping an eye on specifically that as well. We have some passionate people in our ranks that care about the animals.
Any more discussion? If not, I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Looking forward to it.
Come to the festival, yep.
Next request is from George Morris, requesting street closure in the first block of East 5th Street, east of Benton Street, on May 11th, from 5 p.m. until 11:30 p.m. Hi.
Hi. Yep, it's our 4th annual East 5th Street Block Party. Just asking for permission to close off the street there. Our neighbors, they all have fun. They've all agreed to it. They all don't have any problem with the parking. They move their vehicles around to the alley or park somewhere else. And
You said this is your 4th
Yep,
annual?
it's 4th annual, yep. Have it for, it's kind of a Mother's Day / my wife's birthday's the same week, so I just kind of combine it all together and celebrate neighbors and just have a good time.
So your request says 5 p.m. to 11:30 p.m., but you're really asking for that to be shut for 12 hours.
Correct, from 12 noon for setup time so everybody has time to get their vehicles parked around back, and we have bounce houses and other games and things that we set up. Just gives us a lot more time to get set up. We have a live DJ, and he's got to get set up, and the band has to get set up. And
So you're looking at 5 hours setup, but you're only looking for 30 minutes for cleanup. Just want to make sure we can get the road open at midnight. That's all.
Right. In the past, I don't have a whole lot of help setting up, but I have a whole lot of help tearing down. So the band, they get all their stuff taken. I mean, it's amazing how fast they tear down as opposed to how long it takes them to get everything set up. Same thing with the DJ. So far, we've been tore down by midnight every year.
Will there be a stage there?
Yes. We bring in a trailer. There's still plenty of room on each end of the trailer to get like emergency vehicles through if needed.
Chief Dane, are you aware of this block party? It's been occurring for the last 3 years?
I'm not aware of it occurring for the last 3 years. I know there's been block parties throughout the town, and it's always been the concern, especially the fire department, if there's something happen in that block, how do we access it? Kind of like we've talked about with the construction on 2nd Street coming up. And especially if we're going to have trailers parked, yeah, it sounds like it's an easy access, but at the end of the day, it's not. If we have to squeeze between the tongue of a trailer or back end of a trailer and a curb and a sign and other stuff, especially if we have to lay a large diameter hose in to fight a fire in that block. There's a lot of variables that can happen there. So I would want to see more of an open area, either down the center of the street or everything on one side of the street to where we can access the other side. Just blocking off the whole block and having that whole block shut down gives us no access. And to me, it's unreasonable to ask the people uptown to give us 16 feet and then we go shut a whole block down to where we can't access anything. Because, I mean, I don't know where the liability would stand. If there was something happen in that block when it's shut down, where does it go back to? If we cannot reach that residence either to pick somebody up on a medical run and or a fire, or if it impedes us from going to the next block east, well, where's the liability come back to? So I can't answer that question personally. Maybe Dustin can answer more of that, but to impede our progress and having to squeeze between trailers and stuff and bounce houses, I don't think that gives us the room. But
How much space do you need to be safe?
to be safe, a bare minimum 14, I believe the ordinance is 16, Mr. Walker, so.
In the past, we put the bounce houses right in the center of the street, and they're not huge bounce houses, but there's definitely 16 feet between the bounce house edge and the curb, and everything stays on the side, except in the past, we did have our food catering truck would park on the curb, but we can have them park in the center of the road too, and you would have 16 feet on each side all the way down the whole block.
I would rather have the middle of the street, to be honest with you. Then
So
we're
put
not-
everything on the side and leave the
then we're
middle of the
not-
street open?
Because you got tree lawns and everything else with trees and limbs hanging out across the top.
Okay.
And if we have to get in there, then we're fighting the tree lawn. And a lot of times when we get out of the trucks, we got to work off both sides of the trucks. So if we're in a tree lawn and we go to open up compartments and we can't get to those because of tree, or if we have to drop ladders offside the truck because there's a tree lawn on that side. So I would say we want everything on one side of the street and the middle left open, and then
Okay.
maybe the other side. So we got the middle and the one area to travel, maybe the middle and the south side or middle and the north side, however you want to set it up. But there has to be, we have to have egress through there.
We can keep everything on one side of the road if we need to. And you'll have the whole middle and a whole nother side that's open, and other than pedestrians that are out in the road, they have to get out of the way, but.
Yeah, we can live with that. If we block the whole street down to where we can't get down through there, I think it's a liability on us plus a liability on the city.
Okay, and that, we can do that. In the past, they just said to leave that 16-foot open on the edges, and that's what we did, but,
Yeah, I prefer the middle just because
Okay.
that's how we would operate on either side, so.
okay.
Is that something you can accommodate?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. And we don't want to, not trying to prohibit you from having your block party, because we think it's a great thing. We just got to make sure that we can service any needs that are down there in an
No
emergency
problem,
situation.
and I understand, yeah.
Chief Feller, Any issues? Todd? No? Okay. So this is the same day as the Visual Arts Festival.
I think it was last year, too.
Going to be busy around there. Of course, a few blocks apart, but Mr. Morris has signed the release waiver, liability, hold harmless, so we do have that on file. Any more discussion? If not, need a motion to approve his request.
Motion approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next request on our agenda is from Chief Dane to promote Cameron Migrat from probationary firefighter to permanent status.
Good afternoon, Board. This is one of the great things that we get to do is finally bring somebody off of being probationary on to full-time status. So in front of you all, I provided the copies of the letter, and I'll just read it here for the record. Honorable Board members, I would request that probationary firefighter Cameron Migrant be considered for permanent status at the Peru Fire Department. Mr. Migrant's hire date was March 17, 2022. Mr. Migrant has completed all necessary training that is required by the Peru Fire Department to move to his permanent status.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Motion approved. Making
Second.
Cameron Migrant permanent.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item on our agenda is a request from Chief Feller to accept the retirement of Lieutenant Dan Sofianos effective March 30th, 2024.
Motion to consider.
Second.
Any discussion? If no discussion, we need a motion to approve the request.
Motion to approve the retirement of
Second.
Dan Sofianos.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Last item on our agenda is recommendation to appoint Jim Baker as the Board of Works appointee to the Planning Commission. Mr. Baker, could you come up, please? Is it okay to call you Mr. Baker?
Call me whatever you want, Don. If I can call you Don instead of Mayor.
I want to know where.
Just don't call me late for supper.
Where's Jim Baker? I don't see him.
And it's spelled with one K.
Thank you for accepting the opportunity that we've placed before you to be an appointee to the Planning Commission. This is a position that is appointed by the Board of Works, so the three of us have this one position that we get to appoint to this particular committee. So, any discussion by the board? If not, we just need a motion to approve his appointment to the Planning Commission.
Make the motion that we approve the appointment of Jim Baker to the Peru Planning Commission.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. If you'll stick around after this, we'll do the swearing in.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Baker. Any communications from the department heads? Public?
Mayor, I'd like to, on behalf of a couple of people that I've done.
Would you come up, Pete, so we can hear you?
Peter Saidashini. A couple of people I've talked to that live on 7th Street, or 8th Street. Okay, they're wondering if it's possible to maybe post a speed limit there. There's a lot of fast motorcycles and cars, like from, and I was there when it happened too. I did see a lot of fast-moving vehicles from Broadway up to Tippecanoe. If there was any way maybe to slow the traffic down, okay, if you could post a speed limit there.
Which
I know
street
it's-
did you say it was again, Pete?
What's that?
What was the street used?
8th Street.
8th?
Eighth from
East
from
8th Street.
Broadway, turn in there at Harvey's, and you're going east to Tippecanoe, that section. If possible. I mean, it's been a recurring thing, and I don't know the protocol behind it, but I just wanted to make the request.
Chief, have you had calls on things like that?
Not that, I mean, we get calls on things like that, but I can't recall off the top of my head having any complaints that stand out.
Are you telling, I'm sorry. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I'm finished.
Are you requesting that the speed limit be lowered from the urban speed limit?
Well, I don't know if there's even a.
The urban speed limit is 30 miles an hour unless
Okay.
otherwise
Well,
posted.
it's in excess of that, I mean, so.
Okay. So it's probably more of an enforcement unless, really the only thing this board
Yeah, so it's going
could
to
do
stay
is,
30, right?
if you're requesting a lower speed limit, we could consider that on an agenda, but
Yeah.
if
Well,
the,
you'd
pardon?
have,
Traffic study and all that, but the speed limit is 30
Yeah.
in that area
okay.
already. That's almost anywhere in town.
So obviously, some people are going to speed, but we know that, so.
So it sounds like you're just requesting a speed limit sign
Yeah,
At-
if it
at
could
the
be posted
urban
just
speed
to-
limit of
yeah,
30 mile an
Would that
hour.
be possible, just to post a speed limit?
So what we usually do, Pete, we put up that little traffic counter radar, and it
Yeah.
records all traffic moving,
Right.
and it gives us a police report, tells us what's, percentage of
Yeah.
enforceables,
Mhm.
speeds, plates for cars. And then we go out and we stick those radar signs out for a couple weeks, kind of get everybody used to it. And then, if I'm not mistaken, there's probably not any signs on any.
Okay. Would there be any issue or problem with us getting one up? Okay. Then I think we can do
That would be nice to
that.
have a sign there, if possible.
I don't think there are any signs in the city of Peru stating the urban speed limit. That's a responsibility of the driver
Yeah.
to know what
And
the
I'll
speed
pass
limit
that
is,
on,
unless
to
otherwise
the-
posted.
To the neighbors there. And then I also was wondering, East Paw Paw Pike, if we have any jurisdiction on that, the city, where, same problem there. A couple of the residents were requesting, is it possible, I don't know if there's is there
That
a,
ends at that island. We paint that island, that traffic island,
Yeah.
that yellow. And then after that, it's county.
okay, it's county.
Yeah, right
Okay,
after
that's-
that, into that island, out is county.
Yeah. I'll ask that.
But they will work with us too. I put the speed trailers out there too, and the counter. We've had massive speeds out there.
Yeah.
We've had 105, 110 mile an hour down that.
Well, I was there when it happened. It must have been at least 70.
I was not there.
Yeah. We've had some massive speed down
Yeah.
there.
Okay, that's good, because I'll be at the county council meeting
Yeah,
tonight.
the guys.
I can run it by
Bill,
them.
I coordinate with Bill, their sign guy.
Yeah.
And sometimes we'll stick a speed radar indicator sign out there,
Right, okay.
flashers, to tell people how fast they are.
Okay, great. All right,
Thank you, Pete.
Guys, thanks.
Anything further? If not, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting's adjourned.